All right, today we are going to be starting our new unit on Lucy Character Studies, and we're going to be continuing using our book that we started before the break called the BFG. And I know you guys are about 10 chapters in, so you really know our two main characters, the BFG and Sophie. So that's going to help us jump right into today's lesson. So what you're looking at right now is our teaching Google Slide presentation. So there's going to be two things that you're going to have. This is what I'm going to be teaching you from, and the other one is going to be your student notebook, which looks the same except it says student journal on it. So this is the one where you're going to be doing all of your work from. So I'm going to go back to this one. We're going to jump into today's lesson. So what I want you to notice is that right here it says session 1. So you're going to match up the session that we're on here with the session in your student notebook. So always make sure that number matches. Okay, excuse me. So it says session 1. Readers notice how a new character talks and acts. Today I want to teach you that when a reader begins a new book, oops, not the, hello, Mrs. Evans. They are given new characters. Readers need to treat these characters as friends and get to know them. So it says on the next page, we will move me over here. Let's see. We will list what we already know about Sophie. So let's go to our next page. And on our next page, what I did was I made a character map about Sophie and I listed some character traits about Sophie. And here it says, notice how the character talks and acts. So we've done this lots of times in the past, so you should be familiar with this. So some of the things that I listed about Sophie, let's move me out of the way here. So I said Sophie was brave, she's tough, she's an orphan. Orphan means that she doesn't know who her parents are. Everybody has parents, but not everyone knows or has met their parents. So she lives in an orphanage. They call it a dormitory, which you might have heard that word before. If you have older brothers or sisters who are in college, they might have gone off and lived in a dormitory. So she's an orphan and lived with other orphans in that dormitory before she gets snatched by the BFG. She's also small, definitely compared to the BFG. She's friendly. She becomes friends with him, right? And she's also very smart. So here are some words that describe her. We've used that word in the past called character traits. So remember that word, character traits. So today's going to be all about finding words that describe how your character is, how they're acting, or how they talk, or describing them. Like, for example, Sophie is small, okay, but she's also an orphan. That describes what's going on in her life. These words also describe her personality, okay? So then we're going to move on to the next slide. So it says, now you are going to think about the BFG. And it says, we're going to look at your student journal now to see what your job is for today. Okay, so I'm going to go to the other journal. So this is your student one, and everyone has a copy of their student journal that I linked you to in Schoology. So each day what I'm going to do is I'm going to add pages to it. So you're going to have one journal and it's also in your Google Drive, okay? So remember, you can open it through Google Drive or you can open it through Schoology. It's going to be the same one, okay? Just always make sure that you're matching up the session number, okay? So this looks like the one that I was working off of on my teaching one. So it says session 1, readers notice how a new character talks and acts. I have to add that Y back in, a little typo. So it's the same goal for today. Today I want to teach you that when readers begin a new book, they are given new characters. Readers need to treat these characters as friends and get to know them. You're always going to have the focus for the day, and you'll get used to this stuff because it's going to be looking the same every day. So here's our focus for the day. So what I want you to do today, this is going to be your job, your classwork. So this is the one that I did about Sophie. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to write about what do you know about the BFG. So you've read a lot or listened to the chapters being read about the BFG. So you know a lot about him. What makes him unique? Okay, he's a very interesting guy, right? So here it says type a word that describes the BFG in each box. So if you click in here, you can type a word in here. So I can type, he's big. Okay, you can type words in those boxes. Okay, so I want you to type 6 words that describe the BFG. It can be how he looks, it can be how he acts, okay, how he talks. A lot of you in your work have been commenting how he doesn't use correct grammar, okay, so you picked up on that, so that's good. So this is your first activity. You need to fill out all 6 words in here, and here's your task. It says type a word that describes the BFG in each box. Okay, so that's your first thing. Okay. I also want you guys to know when you're supposed to stop for the day. So what I did was I put this little guy on the page so you know when one lesson stops so that you know that I'm done for the day. Okay, so wherever you see this little guy with a stop sign, that's how you know you should stop for that day. Okay, that your lesson is done and that you're done for the day. One more thing I want to show you is that I made this video for you, how to find a book on destiny. So another option for independent reading is, I know you guys have Epic, but Epic has a lot of really good nonfiction books, but Destiny has a lot of fictional chapter books for you guys to read. So you can click this play button here, and it's a video of how to find an ebook. Which, remember how we Andrew was doing that on Indian in the Cupboard. Remember, we couldn't figure out how to do it online, but Andrew figured it out. And we were trying to mess around with it. So this is a video on how to do it. Okay, so there's a link on our Schoology page to Destiny. So follow the steps on this video, and then you can check out a book. Okay, so you can read it on online. Okay, so this is a video for you, and it's right here on this slide. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to start here. You're going to watch this video, and this is me talking about today's lesson. You can watch this video on how to get the book on Destiny. Then you're going to do today's lesson on the BFG. You're going to do the descriptive words about the BFG, and then you see the stop sign. So that's how you're going to know that you're going to stop for today. Okay. And then I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's lesson. All right. See you later. And if you have any questions, you can send me a message. Bye.